This tutorial describes step-by-step instructions for acquiring stereo-paired photographs of your subject matter using two calibrated DSLR cameras. Prior to taking stereo-paired photographs of your subject, complete the dual camera calibration procedure described in the previous tutorial. The quality of any 3D extraction is dependent upon your camera calibration and the quality of your photographs. An intermediate understanding of both photography and an ability to operate a DSLR camera is recommended. Additional tutorials and videos may be found at www.scannerkiller.com/FAQ. Use the same camera to target distance established during the dual camera calibration for your stereo photography. Replacing the checkerboard target with your subject will ensure proper focus of your stereo-paired photographs. We recommend you rotate your subject versus moving the tripod and/or cameras around your subject. All camera settings must remain to manual control and remain unchanged from the time of your calibration. Trigger your cameras remotely through tethering software either included with your DSLR camera or with DSLR Remote Multi-Pro. The only camera setting that may be changed after calibration is the camera shutter speed, example 1/60th, 1/3, 5 seconds, and so on. By changing the camera shutter speed, you can establish proper exposure of your stereo-paired photographs. Note: DSLR Remote Multi-Pro triggers your DSLR cameras in rapid succession to one another. While this type of multi-camera triggering is acceptable for static objects, it can yield synchronization errors if applied to moving objects. DSLR cameras utilize physical shutters. Depending on your specific brand, the shutter delay can be in the order of plus or minus 0.1 seconds. Motion blur within your photograph or photos taken at different instances in time will generate added noise or may fail entirely during 3D extraction. The synchronization of stereo-paired images for acquiring live subjects or moving objects falls outside the scope of this tutorial. However, if you have the means to capture synchronized stereo pairs, our solution will reliably extract the 3D data. Create a Pictures subfolder within the Your Projects folder and save all stereo-paired photographs there. Use the file naming convention as seen here. Acceptable parameters are between 01 and 99. The best 3D results are obtained when photographing diffuse materials with high color contrast. If your subject lacks color contrast, consider photographing your subject with a random speckle pattern projected onto its surface using a standard projector. This will produce an active scanning solution and generate higher geometric detail accuracies upon 3D extraction. Read the tutorial Active Scanning, found within the FAQ section of the Scanner Killer's website. Masking is always carried out on camera 2 images. Creating masked images is an optional exercise performed with any photo editing software. By creating a black and white masked image, you can define which areas are to be processed and which areas are to be ignored during the 3D extraction. Black areas will appear smooth in the preview window and be ignored prior to 3D extraction. Masked images must be named as follows. The M identifies the file as a mask which coincides with the stereo pair. The use of a mask image will decrease the output size of your extracted 3D file. However, the mask can adversely affect the completeness of a given 3D extraction. The following example illustrates a possible outcome for a stereo pair with and without a masked image. Whereas the area on the lion's lower back solved fully when no masks were used in the 3D extraction. The same area on the lion's lower back did not solve when a mask was applied. Always refer to the 2.5D preview as a guide prior to processing your stereo pairs.